Oh man, D150 stuff. All right. So this video is going to be all over the place because a lot of this stuff I filmed already, but you know, ice, rain, parts, unknown issues, things like that have cropped up, and I've just been sitting on a lot of footage for a really long time, and I don't know what to do with it. So I either can give it all to you guys kind of at one time and it'll just be a mess, or I would have to release all the videos in different parts, and then you would see like timeline continuity errors. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys what I've got, and hopefully you'll like it. Oh, that don't work. Ugh. Something's broke on that. Ooh, bunch of dust came out, I think. This has to be all taken apart and fixed. I've got to fix the cluster, so all of it has to come out anyway. Might do that today. There we go. We're working. Awesome. That's low and off. Sweet! Well, I guess we can take the cluster out of this thing and try to reconnect the speedo cable, and then also figure out a way to fix this issue. So we'll try that. Most of the screws aren't in it. Ah yes, the old zip tie magic. I'm sure that's why this thing isn't connected in there nice. This side is all right. 2 screws at the top, 2 at the bottom. And then that should fix our speedo issue. So I'll go ahead and pull that out. All right. The battery is disconnected, by the way. I need to cut those zip ties. Oh yeah. Speedo cable is straight up disconnected. Well, I'm going to have to spend a lot more time under here trying to fix this stuff. So right now, we'll focus on the low-hanging fruit, which is this, and the speedo cable. Well, there's the speedo cable. You can see it's pretty smoked. Up here, this thing's broke off down in there. This is all zip tied on. So the actual mount that holds it onto here is busted off. I don't have another one of these. There might be one in the van. You know what? We should go see if there's one in the van. What do you think? Hey! That thing looks like it'll work. This is way better. Oh, this is broken too. But it's busted off here. Busted off on both sides. That one's zip tied in too. Check it out. Every one of these things I think are zip tied in. Well, I'll take it off and I'll try to epoxy it together. Alright, so this is the unit that I pulled out of the van, and there's the one, you know, just hanging there. They're basically the same thing. That's the light, the plug for the light that would go in that socket right there. They're mostly identical. That cable is obviously zip tied on. This back part here, the vacuum selector part of it, is the same between them. And then it looks like it has the same mounting flange on the side for the most part. I do have the one off of the van, but you know, I have to glue it all back on. A little bit different layout overall, but essentially the same. So, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter to me what it looks like because there's no AC on here. This one has a different style plug. This end here is 4. I don't know what that even controls though. So there's 4. I don't know, is that a light in there? I'm not sure exactly what those 4 posts there do. My truck has 2 or 3. There it is, 3. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what that does. It's all sealed, so I can't take it apart. I have to do some finagling and whatever to figure out how to get all these to work. I don't know if this cable is shot, but it can barely move. And then you can see, must be a common issue on the Dodges because the van actually just bent the whole cable. So I would assume it's the cable just seizes up in there. So anyways, we're gonna kind of dig around in here. There's no room, and everything in the Dodge is plastic or aluminum. So I don't have a good spot for the light for you guys, and I don't know what I'm doing with this crap. So I'm just going to monkey with it, glue all those pieces back in, and hopefully get one unit that works. You know, this side is actually pretty good. Maybe I can... Is the other side? No, the other side was the broken one on it. So yeah, this side's totally gone. I don't know, maybe I can... I don't know. All right, I took the glove box out, whatever. You can see some critters have been in there. I didn't think there was anything for them to eat. But there's the original color of the truck. Looks nice. Look how bright it is. Cool color. Way different than the dark blue that's on it now. Guess there. So anyway, I like the blue. So I was thinking, you know, spray this thing down. That's where the other end of the cable comes out right there. Looks like it's got some rust on it. It's pretty grody in here. So I'm going to hose some stuff down and kind of let it sit for the night. I'm not going to be able to get back on it for a while. So yeah, anyway. So I figured I'd take you along on the expedition because I saw this thing hiding. I thought it was a leaf. Frickin' Garfield. What is that, a pencil topper? God knows how long that thing's been in there. Check it out. Ooh. So, it needs to be cleaned out. There's the duck down there. It's packed full of leaves. So, yeah, this is the stuff that I've never... There's my other phone. I've never done anything in here. I never got to this part of the truck. So... You're seeing it for the first time with me, basically. Garfield hiding out in the dash. Alright, the thing is sat for a minute with the WD. I sprayed down inside of the dash a little bit. And now, super easy. Thing is smooth as butter. Wait, what? Oh, shoot! I can't get into it, though.
I'm going
Frickin' figures. Hey, here. Pull that out for me. All right. Did you climb in through? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, this one might be snapped.
Figures.
Is it still all right here?
Yeah, I'll take this side. There we go. Each one of these ears are always broken. So this is broken in the identical spot that both of my other ones are. Yeah. But other than the shape or the look of them, they're the same. All right, so it's many, many days later. We've got this heater control back. Truck hasn't been touched. It's been freezing. So you guys can let me know what you think. All right, so here is our, newer one. I think it's like a 90s something or other. Looks like that era of decal. And that's what they are. They're just decals. So you can pull this one off. This one is out of my truck with these chrome little buttons. And then this one is out of the Ram, or out of the van, which is, got a different sticker on the front. So we can kind of update it. This one's got the kind of chrome fingers on it. That's pretty cool. They just unscrew. There's a screw there and then one right there. And then you can just obviously pull this entire unit out. So we can swap out these black ones for the chrome covered ones. Looks like it's essentially all the same connectors, same plug. So that's it. So maybe I'll swap this over. I don't know. I don't want to ruin one of them. So we might just roll with this one for now. Kind of got a cooler updated look. Swap out this button assembly for the chrome one. And I think we'll be good. So the one out of my truck Looks like the chrome is kind of in rough shape. Looks like it's starting to kind of peel off a little bit. So this one's in better shape. We'll swap this. Well, I guess it's not. Damn. Look at that. It's all coming off there. I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave it black so it just doesn't start peeling off in our hands. But regardless, it all works. So let me epoxy this thing together. This frame is broken, like all of them are. The cool thing is that these ears that go on the sides, they're the same on this side, just upside down. So there you go. So I can just trim it, epoxy it on. Might just trim like this one to fit, something like that down there. And then we'll be good to go. So I need to get some epoxy on this thing. We'll go ahead and slam it in the truck. A little bit chilly today. All right, let's see how this stuff holds up to a little bit of acetone. Feels good. Maybe it's dissolving it a little bit. It is. Damn. Well, that's good for us. So we want to clean up this edge here where it's broken. So if I can dissolve a little bit of it, it's not doing much. Yeah, it's not totally destroying it, so we're good. You can see that it's dissolving the plastic a little bit. That's all right though. Is it broken there too? Doggone it. We're gonna just hit that from behind, get it back here. That'll hold it in place. I'm pretty sure if I take this off, it's gonna totally fall apart. Now, this epoxy, it's 5 minute, yeah, but it'll take 24 hours to fully cure. So we'll just pull it apart, gob some in, tape it together, hope for the best. Okay, so this is it for now. Just have to wait for all of this stuff to set up, and we should be good to go. I'll work on this other ear once these are kind of dry. Now, I'm sure most of you have used epoxy before, but in case you haven't, it's a 2-part mix. A catalyst and the glue. The plastic turns into a hard plastic. So mix them together. Anyway, once this stuff sets up, it'll be probably as hard as all of this stuff or harder. So it should be ready for us to mess around with in like 45 minutes. Got the heater going over there, plus I got the wood burning stove on. So not too much longer. All right, our epoxy's pretty much cured up enough. I put it in front of the heater. Heat accelerates the cure time, so we should be good. I did cut out a little backing plate. I'm gonna trim it up, but I'm gonna try to bend it and put it behind these ears, so hopefully it'll support this ear just a little tiny bit. So we're gonna see how that goes. Okay, so this thing's had a bit to set up. It's not totally cured yet, obviously, but because it takes 24 hours. But it should be enough to hold it together. A little bit of acetone should take off any, residual tape that may get stuck. No problem there. But looks like it's held together all right, and I didn't get it all over the front of it, so that's pretty good. So I think I'll be able to just kind of cut this thing off straight, trim it to fit, put it on. Alright, so I kind of just sat it in place. You can see this little tab that I made. It's not really attached or anything. These are the locating pins, or little tabs that are on the actual dashboard. You just have to kind of figure out where I want it to be. There's a screw hole right behind here, which I can trace from the other side right there. So I just directly over the top of it, so I can trace that. Just have to align it where I want, trim it, drill a hole, epoxy it into place, then I'll have a backer so that I'll be able to then fix this tab with the other broken tab I've got. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so this is what I got going down. I did try to clean it with some mineral spirits and whatnot, but it's kind of, you know, I don't know, faded. It's got some crap on it. I don't know, I can't get that off, so it is what it is. Hopefully some like Armor All or something, at least make it look better. Switch is all put on. I did kind of hot glue and silicone the light in. Light was burnt out, so I switched the light bulb and then just kind of did some temporary glue. The hot glue is easy enough to pop out, so if that light goes out again, no problem. All of the other connections are the same, I believe. This one might be different, but I don't think so. It's 3. One of them has 4 prongs, but this one has 3. So I think we're all good. So we're gonna go ahead and stick it in. I don't know how well the epoxy will have cured in the sub-zero temperatures, but yeah, we're looking all right. Got some screws, the ones that came out of it. Just have to plug everything in, and we should be good. We can test it all out. All right, well, it wasn't too exciting. It was kind of a pain, actually. I guess the vacuum lines from the previous owner have all been cut. So whatever, I guess the AC controls, I guess that's what it would have been. Those things are all gone. So no surprise there. No AC on this truck anyway. Yeah, let's give it a shot and see. I think high is gone on this. I think the resistor, I don't know, it might be in the switch. Well, that works. I don't think anything else works. All the vacuum's gone, so it's just whatever vents there are. Well, let's try another switch and see if that changes our fan speed. I can't remember if the resistor is in the switch or somewhere else, but we'll give it a shot with another switch. Alright, I've got 2. This is the one that was original to the truck. Let's try this black one first. See if this one that matches will work. If not, have to go with the chrome one. Or it won't work at all. Huh. Well, why would that be? It's pretty cut up, pretty spliced, so who knows what the deal is. We've got one partially working switch. Alright, wow. Well, this came unplugged, so maybe that has something to do with it. Hey, there we go. Nice. I don't know, was my arm in the way the entire time? Probably. Alright, so it's low. Oh, too dirt. Low. Medium. Second medium. Ripping fast. Alright. There we go. Done. I'll just swap this switch out for this one and move on. You can probably hear the heater running in the back. Sorry about that. Either that or freeze. Maybe I will shut it off. Who knows how loud it is. We should have lights too. Let's see how it looks. Let's see if that light works. Apparently it doesn't. Well, I guess that was pointless. So much. Oh, it does work. Nice. Cool. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yeah, right on. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so what do we got here? Nothing? Ah, damn it, that thing came unplugged again. Of course, I can't control where anything is. It's just kind of open everywhere. Vents, floor, windshield, defrost, all that. It just is what it is. But, hey, it's better than nothing. You want to try a cold start? Serious exhaust leak. There we go. Cold start on the D150. First time it's ever been started in the cold. So it is what it is. What did I got this? This is the new Speedo cable. Right there. So hopefully it's the right length. I'm not entirely sure. I think they only had one size. I got the size that they say. I'll have to lay on the floor down here in the dirt with the trans fluid. I'm gonna fish it through in there. It's hard for you to see, but there we go. I'm gonna fish it through the firewall, pull that out, and then deal with the rest of it later. So I'll swap it in and then it should just snap on right there. So I'm going to go ahead and fish that through. There's just no room for you or anything, and it's not exciting. Not that, you know, doing any of this is exciting, but it is what it is. So I'm going to swap that thing out, let it hang, and then worry about it later. Then reassemble the dash. Okay, change of plans. I'm totally not going to be getting into any of that right now. That is a warmer weather job, because I don't know what a lot of this stuff goes to. I think that this is going to, I think that this one is going to the Holley handheld. I think that this is my signal wire or something. I don't know what this goes to even. And then obviously that right there is the Speedo. So definitely not going to get into that today. I don't have any room to really work, and everything is so cold. It's really stiff. So we're going to have to leave that until warmer weather. We'll just put this thing back together. At least this thing is nice and sturdy now with that little addition that I made.
One eternity later.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything down here or not. But while we're down here, I'm going to replace the speedo cable. So I did take this cluster out again. One more thing I did is I used different screws. I tapped out the holes for the blower motor control, the switch. Tapped those out and then added some blue Loctite. And I think it's been a while. I think we were having issues before where this thing wouldn't stay in the high position. So anyway, I fixed that, and I had to take this thing back out because it hooks underneath up in there. So this part of the cluster is actually right there, is held in place behind the blower control. Damn, this light. Motor, there's no light. Now that I've been working on that, there's even less light. So yeah, I've been working on that. I figured I don't want to take this stuff apart again. There's where the speedo cable goes. I don't remember, it's been so long. I don't remember what you guys have seen and what you haven't seen. Just cut that thing off. This is the fuse box, obviously. And then we can see up in there, I don't know what Jay ran, but he ran a bunch of stuff through man, it's tight in here, sorry. Through that little area there that the speedometer cable goes through. So I can't get the end, the screw-on end or clip-on end of this cable out through that hole with all those wires in the way. So I have to go through here and figure out what everything all is and remove it. This pink wire goes down, and this is for the Holly. Goes in here into 12 gauges, whatever that is. So 12 volt gauges, I would assume. Anyway, so I'm going to start pulling this stuff out and get back into there. Obviously, I'll just have to show you when I'm done because there's no light and no room for me to put you up. Alright, don't be too hard on me, folks. A lot of this stuff was already in here when I got the truck, like this red power line. I haven't really driven this truck, actually, much since I owned it. There we go. There we go. This thing needs to be trimmed. This is crazy. And whatever the heck this thing is, it's no longer needed. A lot of this, you know, you guys see this truck is pretty hacked up from the previous person. They didn't care about this thing. That's why the rear end was blown out. You know, everything was basically toast on it. So the coolant temperature is controlled by the Holly now, so that one is redundant. Oil pressure is still used, so I guess I'll leave that for now. I'll just have to reroute it. But having whoever installed it run it in front of my brake pedal probably isn't ideal. Gives me a chance to kind of go through here and clean stuff up. I really wish that they wouldn't have cut all the vacuum lines. That sucks. So it is what it is. Maybe take this tack out of here. All right, so there's the hole where the speedo cable goes and the grommet comes through. I got all of the wire and, you know, the oil temp or oil pressure sensor line out. So basically we didn't need most of the wires that were in there. This tack signal wire goes all the way through the loom. It's all zip tied down, and then right there you'll see that wire loom. Yeah, that goes nowhere. So it's just terminated off there. So that tack didn't work. I never even noticed it. So that tack can go. We'll fish all that out. It's all zip tied into the loom, or into this whole wrap. So we'll get rid of all that stuff, and then I'll drill another hole kind of right next to it, put a grommet in it, and yeah, clean up this wiring a little bit, and then we should be good to go. I bought this little grommet kit from Harbor Freight. So since we're not really using any of the wiring or anything that we had in there before, I think this grommet will work to carry the power wire for the Holly and my oil pressure sensor line. So just get a drill bit, pilot hole, drill us into the firewall, and should be on our way. Yeah, that'll do it. All right, I did cut the grommet. This is the factory grommet right here. I cut it. So I don't know how they put these things together at the factory. They must insert this thing before they crimp on this end or something. I'm not sure. So we're going to do it this way. A little bit of white lithium grease. It's actually going to be easier for me to go the other route. Put all this stuff in first. Run this crap in there. It's in place for right now. It doesn't look like it's going to be coming out, so I think we're good right here. Alright, it's pretty clear I can't do this with you guys here, so I'll just snap it in. It snaps in. That's what it does. I'll show you when it's done. Alright, it took 2 seconds. I just needed to get my shoulder where you were. There we go. I just have to connect it down there at the trans. Get rid of this piece of crap. Now we can at least put the instrument panel back together. And then I have to deal with all of these wires. So, kind of put them all back to where they were. That's going to take a lot of fiddling around. I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay, for the most part, it's back to the way that it was. Everything is ran. It's good enough for now. Finish up inside. One thing I didn't even really notice. The previous owner had wire nutted a bunch of weird stuff together. I don't even know where this goes. This is one of the typical Mopar fusible links that fail all the time. These were emission control boxes. I'm not entirely sure exactly what they even do. Have to look them up again. I forgot. They don't work. They're wired in, but they're cut somewhere along the thing, so they're non-functional. But you can see all of the potting has oozed out of them, like melted or burned or God knows what over the years. It's like totally gross under there. That's a lot of work to remove all the wiring from the harness, so I'm not going to deal with any of that right now. I did find out that this was the only speedometer cable that was listed for any truck of this vintage, any of these, first gen Rams or whatever I get at the parts store. It's like 18 inches too long, so instead of it tucking down in there really nice, it's going to have to kind of roll up in here somewhere and get tied down, because apparently that's the only part number available at the parts store. And once I put this thing in, it's not a show truck, so I'm not going to go tearing the cluster back apart just to get one that's a little bit shorter, but it is quite a bit longer than the factory one that's in there now. So, bummer, but, as long as it's not rubbing on the steering shaft, it won't matter. Pull it up in here and let it go. I think it'll be fine. Mortsky was saying that he hates these little wing nut deals. I don't know. I got them with the valve covers, so I threw them on. I didn't have any good bolts, but he was just complaining about these. If you don't know much about this truck, didn't see any of the other videos, I bought this thing out of Alabama as basically just a chassis. I just wanted the body out of it for a 440 and that 4-speed right there. But yeah, so the previous owner's kids thrashed this thing in a field, blew the rear end out of it, blew the trans, blew the engine, and then the previous owner just threw in just a 318 and some junkyard 904 to get it up here to Michigan. My cousin brought it to me, and yeah, so that's it. So I replaced everything, put an 8 3/4 with a posi in the rear end, got a 727 that I had rebuilt that's still leaking all over the place, and this small block built up 360. So the AC delete, all the sketchy wiring, none of that was from me. It's just I'm dealing with whatever I've got to. Eventually, I'll fix it up and it'll be nicer, but for right now, I just want to play with it, you know, for the summer, have a little hot rod toy truck. So that's the deal with that. It'll eventually get better. So anyway, I'll finish up in here. I'll take you along where I can. There's not a lot of room in there, but you know, I'll figure it all out. I got to figure out what to do with those gauges, stuff. And yeah, so get this thing all tidied up and move on. Let me tell you, everybody, it's been a crazy few weeks here at the Half-Ass Garage, just stuff going on. I haven't had a chance to work on this since we left off with it. The last video that you saw, we had to do the lift kit on the XJ. This is the first time that I've been in the shop since we did that lift kit, but it's looking pretty good. My voice is thrashed because this weather, it's just been raining nonstop. Sorry about that. But this is the new daily driver for the Half-Ass Garage. This is my new, just daily. The white blob, that you see out there in the trees, that is my 04 Honda CR-V. The trans has kind of went down on it. I don't know if it needs a trans fluid flush, and that's going to rejuvenate the transmission. Highly unlikely. Or the trans is going out in it. One of the two, anyway. I need a new daily. Now that summer's here, I don't have to worry about this thing rusting. So there we go. That's it. I just need to clean up all of this. Another thing is that I got back the original engine that I got with this truck. So it's not the original engine to the truck, but it's the one that I bought, you know, with it. So it's the one that came in the truck when I got it. This is a 1991 LA 318, which means in that year, this would have been a throttle body truck, but this has been converted to a carb. It's got an Edelbrock intake on it. I think there might even be a video of me doing it. I don't even know. But it's a roller cam, factory roller cam engine. It's got the 302 casting number heads, so they're closed chamber, still small valve heads, but they're good heads. So all around, it's a great base to kind of build something fun out of down the road because of the roller cam, factory roller cam, all that stuff. If you watch any of the D150 videos, you'll remember that I did have to spend a lot of money to convert this non-roller cam engine into a roller cam engine with the retro roller rockers and all of that stuff for this. So yeah, it's going to be way easier with the other 318 if we ever go down that road. Wait and see. Who knows? But I'm going to clean up just a tad bit in here. We'll get cracking on that dash. Hopefully the Dodge will be running by later today and the dash will be back together. Here's to hoping. But here's our new speedometer cable. If I can get that thing on, which I really can't. It's still pretty cold out here. None of this stuff wants to move very easily. All right, I got it plugged in. Sort of. It's halfway plugged in. I got to snap it on all the way. And we'll put the cluster in. The rest of the wires, I don't even know if I showed you guys. I rerouted everything under there. So Speedo cable's got its own home. And then the Holley power wire and the oil pressure sensor line. We're not using little plastic explode in your face and soak your leg with hot oil thing. We're actually using a legit copper line. Those are the ones you want. And then we'll hook those up. But Speedo cable's got its own dedicated grommet now. So we'll just finish hooking that up. Ah, good thing to know. See this little tiny tab here and this round thing? All right. So I kept thinking, I'm like, is there a clip that goes over this thing that snaps down over that? No, there is not. This is, I don't know what kind of cable this is, but the cables that I see online have like a little hook on the side of it, and that hook snaps onto here and holds the whole thing on. That isn't even a provision on this thing at all. So I'm not sure exactly what they're doing to hold this thing on, but you know, the one that I got is just falls off as soon as you move it. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that right this second. Okay, so I got this idea. Right, so if this is the the cable, doesn't have the little hooked shoulder that it's supposed to have, that kind of looks like that. Goes in here. Looking through the camera so I can't hardly write. Anyway, so my thought was instead just make like a hook that goes around it, you know, so you'd push this thing down on it that way, brings all this together towards the bottom, and then have a little piece of metal that would go up and just hook around here. So I kind of measured it the best I could inside the truck, 1.7/16", and then just made it. So I think that this will work. It's nothing super fancy. It's just basically a clip, but that clip should just snap around there like so and hold it together. I could have sworn that there was a metal clip that went on the end of those things, but I just thought I was misremembering it. Anyway, yeah, it's just that this particular speedometer cable doesn't have the little tiny hook on it that clips onto there. So I'm going to reach in there and try to get this thing into place. All right, so there we have it. Kind of squished it with the pliers a little bit, crimped those things down around that edge. Zip tied that thing. It ain't going anywhere. We're good. All right, well, I got this thing all connected up. All the screws are in it. Had dropped the steering column down just a skosh. There's 2 bolts on the bottom, one there and one on the other side. Loosen those things up. Got everything pretty much tight. Speedo cable is in. Of course, I didn't bother with any of the lighting. This is the only one that works. Goes up in here. It's like a map light, or I don't know what it's for. Everything else is illuminated, so I'm not really sure what this is for. I might swap this out to an LED at some point. Who knows? Whatever. That's down the road. Yeah, obviously no AC on this truck because everything's cut. I think I showed you there. All those things are cut. So unfortunately, I'll have to resort to some Precious Roy chicken-flavored air conditioning in this beast.
You need to get the Precious Roy chicken-flavored air conditioning.
Or replace all of the stuff. That's for another time down the road if I ever get to that. Anyway, don't know if I told you, but I reinforced this switch. So now we should have full-on, high-speed blower motor. Radio, I'm not sure. It looks like it's almost deleted. I might fully delete that out. I don't really listen to the radio when I drive because I'm too busy listening for crap to fall off. So, yeah, whatever. So, anywho, I'm going to get under here and figure out what to do with some of this wiring. I have to hook up that copper line there. Obviously, we're going to have to do something with these gauges. I kind of wanted to have the ashtray back just so I could use it for change and whatnot. I kind of don't really dig on this, kind of crusty chrome looking whatever. So I don't know about the mount for that. We'll figure something out for right now. Who knows? Maybe, this tack's going away, so maybe I'll mount the oil pressure gauge right over here. The main fuse box is just dangling. That's all got to go up in there somewhere. I don't know where the factory mounts are for it. So hopefully I don't, short anything out while I'm moving it around. It's pretty well hammered in there. Anyhow, I can figure out what to do with that. There is no room in here for you. So I'll show you when I'm done. We'll put a little lipstick on this thing and I think it'll be all right. All right, so I kind of cut this thing down, shaved it a little bit, made it a little bit more presentable. But, it looks terrible. So we're going to take some of this vinyl. This might be car wrap, actually. Yeah, I believe that this is car wrap. So, cut-offs from automotive wrap. So we're going to coat this. I did have some carbon fiber looking stuff, but, yeah, it kind of looks a little tacky sometimes. So, we're going to cut this out. This stuff does work good for cutting vinyl stickers. Just a tad bit of acetone. I'll snazzy up these edges just a tad bit more. There we go, a little bit more acetone. Look at that, perfect. Vinyl wrap for cars is really stretchy as opposed to, see all the lines in it and stuff? Regular sticker vinyl is a lot more firm than this, so automotive wrap kind of stretches into corners and things a lot better, as you'd expect. It ain't going to be the best, but you know what? It'll look better than that crappy chrome stuff. It actually is aluminum. You're not going to see a ton of it once the gauge is in place. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll trim this all out. Pretty easy. Just cut around, then you're done. Pretty much just like that. All right, how's that look? A little bit better? So it's not got any, it doesn't have any like gouges in the side. Clean up the radiuses a little bit more. It'll be fine. I'll replace this eventually, like I said, with like a Holley unit, but not today. I think those are a few $100 just for that one gauge. So this looks good. So we'll go ahead and stick it in. All right, so I got this thing mounted up. It's kind of hard to see with the light in the way, but I like the gray. The gray looks pretty good. It's not all symmetrical, but I'm just using the stuff that was already in the truck. I didn't originally make this piece or anything, but I did put it on an angle. So now when I'm sitting here driving around in the truck, it's just kind of a little bit easier at an angle for me to read. It'll be cool. So yeah, looking good. So I just have to get the feed line, connect that up to the back. I can bend this thing down a tad and arrange it however I want to. So I'll get the feed line and then just have to hook up the Holley, hide all that. We should be able to fire this old pig up again. All right, well, I got the fuse panel all kind of mounted up with just some zip ties. I don't know where that goes. When I got the truck, it was just hanging out in here, just dangling by wires. I tried to find the actual spot it would go to, but I couldn't really figure it out. So I isolated it on the bottom with some rubber. You can see it right there underneath, and on this edge here. If you watched my video on building the shroud for the radiator, it has those flaps. That's the same material. It's just the neoprene rubber. I zip tied that up, got the Holley mounted, and we should be good. The oil pressure gauge is mounted up. That looks all right, good enough. Just have to put the trim on the cluster and whatnot, and then put the rest of it together. So I can start on this roof part. But yeah, anyway, that's for another video. One of the weird things is, we got this weird tab right in here. I don't know what this tab actually does, but whenever you put it in gear, there we go. It rotates down. Now, I don't know why that rotates like that. Not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like the wiring would connect to it at all. It seems weird that that would be like that. So if you know what this tab actually does, let me know, because I don't know what it is. Seems like a great opportunity for it to rub through on the wiring. If my wiring was over in this area, I can't figure this thing out. I don't know. There's no other linkage that goes to it that I'm aware of. Who knows? Anyway, if you know what that thing does or why it's there, let me know. Maybe I'll just cut it. I guess it's a stop. Maybe right there, so you don't over shift it. I don't know, but that doesn't make any sense why this would all be on there. Anyway, if you know what that is and why it's there, let me know. I don't want to rub through my wirings and end up with a wiring and end up with a short and a fire on the road. Other than that, though, I think we're ready to fire this old dog up. See if it runs after sitting for months and months. Oh, I left the key on. All right. Well, wish me luck. Look for fires. Oh, like lightning. No smoke. Oil pressure, awesome. No leaks, so that's good. Transmission still leaking like a freaking, it's got a hole in it. So, can't really drive it, of course. So I got to get this fixed before I can take it to the trans shop. Get the stupid transmission fixed again. Yeah, so far everything's looking good. Wiring is pretty cleaned up here. It runs. I would assume that it will somewhat drive if, It's pretty low on trans fluid, like it always is, because it stinking leaks so much. But I'm tired of putting trans fluid in it. I have put over $400 worth of trans fluid in this truck, and it has less than 30 miles on it since I've had that trans rebuilt. So I should have put that in it from the get-go, but peer pressure, man. I let people talk me out of it. There we go. Yep, yeah, I let people talk me out of that damn 4-speed, and I really wish I wouldn't have, because I would have already been enjoying this vehicle today. It's 80-something degrees out and beautiful. The only thing left to do is just snap that on and put it on with a few screws, and that is really all that there is to that. Then there's a bottom plate. So this goes up in here like so, kind of hides the wiring. And then I don't even know where the screws are for this, but it goes up in there like that. And that is it. So not really a big deal. I'll just do that when I have time. It's not really an issue. There's a bunch of wiring crap under here that I'm going to cut out, like that power wire. I don't know where that originally went to. I think the previous owner had like some type of stereo stuff in it. Like all of this stuff is like extra stereo wiring. They had these really crappy speakers in the back of it. I don't even know. So all of this stuff I want to get rid of. This stereo, like I said, you heard the truck. It's not conducive to music listening while you're driving this thing. It's pretty loud. So I'll probably just remove that at some point once I get, you know, a plate made or whatever, a block off. Maybe I'll just leave it in there. Who knows? It looks retro and kind of cool. Well, that was kind of an adventure, wasn't it? I don't even know what this video is going to be like because it's been so long between like takes or whatever. I think we were just trying to fix the heater controls and then it spiraled out of control. I don't know. I'll figure it out once I edit it. Anyway, now that this stuff is done in here, I can start working on the roof. The weather is actually nice enough now that I can dig out the sandblaster without the humidity clogging it up every 2 seconds. So I'm going to kind of get working on that right away. So that'll be another video coming up soon, depending on how this goes. I've got another damn phone call. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. So I was talking to old Iron Horse on the garage on the telephone, and I hear this weird sound, just like a clink, and then I heard water running. I was like, what the heck? And I smelled gas. It turns out that somehow this glass jug, after months, it was totally full of fuel, has broken for no reason, and it just shattered all over. So now the whole place is filled with gas. Ah, look at that. Just a whole gallon of fuel all over everything. So anyway, cleanup efforts have begun. I think I'm just gonna, thank goodness it was like a decent day. There's lots of airflow through here. So I'm just going to try to salvage whatever I can. I have no idea. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what? There's like no culprit. That's the weirdest thing. I've never seen that happen before. This hammer isn't the problem. It was there, you know, before. All this stuff was kind of just there. I know my place never gets cleaned up, you know, but that's just kind of how it is. You know, I'm always too busy to actually clean stuff properly. But so I do apologize for everyone watching that's totally triggered by the nightmare mess that this place always is. But, you know, I am busy, and this is the last thing that I want to spend my time doing is cleaning up this mess. But that being the case, you know, it isn't going to take a whole lot more of these learning experiences to kind of drag me into making this place more safe. I have been working on it. I know you can't tell, but progress has been being made. So I do apologize for my mess, but look at that. There's nothing around here that would have shattered this. And there's still my cool water and gas thing. I love that. That's so friggin' cool.